Hello students, welcome back to session 3. In last two sessions, we discussed in detail about what is correlation, types of correlation and calculation of correlation. Under calculation of correlation, we came to know that there are three methods to arrive correlation coefficient between two variables. First one is, graphical way of presenting. Particularly, we are plotting variable x as well as variable values of variable x and variable y on a graph. So then we are analyzing based on scatterness of the points, that is values of variable x as well as y. The second method is called Pearson correlation coefficient. So we know that under called Pearson correlation coefficient, so we are having separate formula for ungrouped data and grouped data. So we were discussing about how to solve problems in case if it is ungrouped data or if the problem is relating to ungrouped data. When we have ungrouped data, we have two ways to arrive at, either based on actual mean or based on assumed mean. So we have already solved two problems, particularly on calculation of correlation coefficient. Now we are moving towards third problem. You just look at the third problem. So firm, totally 10 firms information is given, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then sales is given in terms of rupees in thousand, then expenses are given. So we are taking sales as variable x, expenses as variable y. So sum of sales, that is summation x, is equal to 580 divided by number of firms, that is 10. So that will become 58. Then we are calculating sum of expenses, which is 140 divided by 10. So 14. We arrived actual mean of variable x as 58 and actual mean of variable y as 14. So both are whole numbers. So we can follow what actual mean method of arriving at answer. What is the formula for calculating R? R is equal to summation dx dy divided by square root of summation dx square into summation dy square. So how to arrive at dx? Dx is nothing but x minus x bar. Dy is nothing but y minus y bar. You just look at the solution part. So dx they arrived as minus 8, minus 8, minus 3. How they arrived? So 50 minus 58, 50 minus 58, 55 minus 58, like that till last one 50 minus 58. In the same way they arrived dy. So that is y minus y bar. Y is 11, y bar is 14, 11 minus 14 is minus 3, like that till the end 13 minus 14 is minus 1. So they arrived dx as well as dy. Then they squared the deviation. They arrived dx square as well as dy square. Once we arrive at dx square and dy square, we have to calculate sum of dx square and sum of dy square. Then we should multiply dx and dy. So then we have to calculate sum of dx and dy. Particularly sum of dx and dy in this problem is 70. So 70 divided by square root of 360, that is summation dx square, multiplied with square root of dy square, that is 22. So 70 divided by square root of 7920. So 70 divided by square root of 7920 is 88.9944. So the answer is 0.7866. So this indicates that there is high degree of positive correlation exists between sales and expenses. So we know that if we arrive answer as 1, it indicates there is perfect positive correlation. If we have answer less than 1 but above 0.5, it indicates that there is high degree of positive correlation exists between the variables. So this is all about third problem. So look at the fourth problem. Fourth problem says that we have to calculate Pearson correlation coefficient from the following data. So they had given values of variable x as well as values of variable y. In the same way, just like what we did in fourth problem. So third problem, you just look at this. Value of variable x, their sum of that is 2170 divided by 10 is 217. Value of y, so sum of values of variable y is equal to 2610 divided by 10. So answer is 26.1. So I think they apply direct method here because what is the value of arithmetic mean of y? So arithmetic mean of variable y is not whole number, it is 26.1. Try to understand. So even though arithmetic mean of value of variable x is 217, but arithmetic mean of value of variable y is, sorry, it is not 26.1, it is 261. I'm so sorry, 261. So they took actual mean as a base. So 217 is x bar, 140 minus 217 is minus 77, 180 minus 217 is minus 37, like that 280 minus 217 is 63. In the same way they calculated dy. So dy is y minus y bar, 180 minus 261 minus 81, like that till 340 minus 261, 79. So then they calculated dx square and dy square, then they multiplied dx with dy. I'm so sorry, it is not 26.1, it is 261. So we can apply the first method, the first formula, that is based on actual mean. So what's the formula? Summation dx dy divided by square root of summation dx square into summation dy square. They arrived answer as 0.9955. It is almost equal to 1, but we cannot say there is perfect because we should arrive answer as 1. So we can write there is high degree of correlation exists between x as well as y. So this is all about fourth problem. We'll see the fifth one, that is here it is in the particularly in the notes which was given to you. It is problem number 7. Find Pearson correlation coefficient from the following data. Wages is given, cost of living index is given. So we are considering wages as variable x, cost of living index as variable y. So when we calculate sum of x, we arrive 990. 990 divided by 10 is 99. When we calculate total values of y, we arrive 950 divided by 10 is 95. Both are whole numbers, so we can apply actual mean method. We should calculate dx. So 100 minus 99, 1. 101 minus 99, 2. Till last one, 95 minus 99 minus 4. In the same way, dy. So 98 minus 95 is 3. Till last one, 91 minus 95, that is minus 4. Then we have to square up both dx as well as dy. Then we have to multiply dx with dy. Sum of dx square, sum of dy square, sum of dx and dy should be calculated. Afterwards, we should apply the formula. When we apply the formula, we arrived answer as 0.8472. So there is high degree of positive correlation exists between these two variables. What are all those variables? Wages and cost of living index. It means when wage get increases, so almost in the same proportion cost of living index also increases. Not exactly in the same proportion. When it will be exact, so only when r is equal to 1. So now we will see problem number 5. So in your notes, it is problem number 8. So with the following data, in 6 cities, calculate the coefficient of correlation by Cole-Pearson method between density of population and death rate. Try to understand. Density of population and death rate. Density of population is given, but death rate is not given. Instead, what is given? Number of deaths and population. So when you divide number of deaths by population, so definitely you will arrive at death rate. Try to understand. So it is clear. That's why you should read the problem. It's clearly given. We should calculate correlation coefficient between density of population and death rate. So death rate is not given. So you should calculate death rate by dividing number of death by what? By population. So it's the 300 by 30. Did you get my point? 300 by 30. In the same way, what is that, 1440 by 90, 560 by 40, 840 by 42, 1224 by 72, 312 by 24. You will arrive at the death rate. So then take density of population, that is 200, 500, 400, 700, 600, 300 as x, and death rate you calculate. Calculated death rate should be taken as what? Y. Then you consider density of population as x, death rate as y, and apply the formula. Solution for this part is not there particularly, and this it is homework for you. So the next one is next problem. Here problem is not visible. So x is 200, 500, 400, 700, 300 and 600. Just a minute. 200, 500, 400, 700, 600 and 300. See, solution is here only. You need not calculate. It's here only. So, sum of that is 2700. Death rate. So, 300 by 30. 1440 by 90. Death rate is calculated. 10, 16, 14, 20, 17, 13. So, sum of x is 2700 by 6, 450. 90 by 6, 15. So, dx minus x bar and y minus y bar, symbolically represented as dx and dy. Then they multiply dx with dy. After calculating dx square and dy square, they arrived answer as 0.9875. There is very high degree of positive correlation exists between density of population and death rate. So this is all about this problem. So solution is here only. I think for one or two problem I have not given solution. So that is problem number 9 as per the notes, and problem number 10th, I think so. Yes, for problem number 9 solution is not given, and for problem number 10 solution is given. So you have to solve problem number 9. I have not solved problem number 9. You should try. Let me go through the problem number 9. Find Pearson coefficient of correlation between average profit and average advertisement expenditure per shop and interpret. So average profit. So total profit is given, average profit is not given. At the same time, total advertisement expenditure are given. So they have not given average advertisement expenditure. So to arrive at average profit and average advertisement expenditure, what we have to do is total profit divided by number of shops is average. What is that? Profit. In the same way, total advertisement expenses divided by number of shops is average advertisement expenditure. Only after calculating average profit and average expenditure, we should start solving the problem. This is what the hint I am giving. Mind it well, you have to solve this problem. As per the printout which was the notes which was given to you, problem number 9 you have to solve. So here it is given. In order to solve the problem, we need to find out average profit and average advertisement. Average profit is total profit divided by number of shops. So they have given value of x, which is average profit. You should calculate value of y by dividing total advertisement expenses by number of shops. Then consider average profit as x, average advertisement expenditure as y. So then calculate Karl Pearson correlation coefficient. So you should read the problem. So for which one we should consider as variable x, or which one we should consider as variable y. Maybe sometime directly given in the problem, most of the time, but sometimes they won't give. So at that time what we have to do is, with the help of given information in the problem, we should arrive at x and y. Then we should apply the formula. So look at problem number 10. The following are monthly figures of advertisement and sales of a firm. It is generally found that advertisement expenditure has its impact on sales generally after 2 months. Allowing this time lag, calculate coefficient of correlation. Means if we incur advertisement in the month of January, after 2 months, means in the month of March, it will create impact. So taking this 2 months time lag, we have to calculate correlation coefficient. So it is clearly given. there is a time lag of how many months? 2 months. So January month's advertisement will create impact only in what? March. So taking into consideration that as a base, so we will calculate or start solving the problem. So advertisement expenses are given 50, 60, 70, 90, 120, 150, 140, 160. Then what? Just a minute. 160, 170, 190, 200, 250. So totally January to December, 12 months advertisement expenses are given. But these advertisement expenses are having impact on sales when? After 2 months. So in the sense, what 50 rupees we will spend on January will create impact on March sales. So that's why we should not take January, February sale as Y. We should take March sale. It is clearly given. Allowing this time lag of how many months? 2 months, we have to calculate correlation. Did you get my point? So that's why 50 rupees if we take as advertisement expenses, sales we should not take January's, we should take sales of 160 because there is a direct relationship exists between advertisement expenses and sales, and it will create impact only after 2 months. So that's why January's advertisement expenses create impact on sales of March. So when you take advertisement expenses of January 50, then you should take sales of March 160. See here. Then February 60. So then which month's sales? So April month sale. In the same ways, March advertisement expenses 70. Then May months 220. 90 April months. Then 250 is June month. Then 120 is May month's advertisement expenses. 240 is July months. So 150 is June month expenses. 260 is sales of August. In the same way, 140 is advertisement expenses of July. So we have 280 of September. August 160, October's 290, September's 170, then November's 310, October's 190, listen, 190, which month's 390? December's 390. We cannot take November month and December month's advertisement expenses because November month advertisement expenses will create impact on sales of January of next year, which is not given in the problem. So that's why we took which month? January to October's advertisement expenses, March to December sales as a base to arrive at answer because we should have a time lag of 2 months. So then sum of X is 1200 divided by 10, not 12 because only 10 months advertisement expenses we can take. November, December we cannot take 120. Again sum of Y 2600. So divided by 10, 260. We can apply actual mean method. So sum of dx dy to 26,100 divided by sum of dx square into dy square. So we arrived answer as 0.92. So there is high degree of positive correlation exists between advertisement expenses and sales. Mind it well, we took advertisement expenses of Jan, sales of March. The same thing continued till the end. So this is all about calculation of Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient for ungrouped data. So we'll see remaining aspects particularly in next session. Till that, take care.